Hi guys, Derek from Outset. Something really special for you today. We're doing in a few days, right?
Yeah.
What would we say? 48 hours? We're
48
doing
hours.
3 days. 3 days. Ella behind the cameras reminded me 3 days. We're going to be attending Gen Con for the launch of the brand new game Guildlands. And I'm really happy to be here today with Ken Boyter and Kedric, the creator of the game. Gentlemen, welcome to Outset. Welcome to Canada. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Good, good. So, wanted to ask a few questions about yourselves, your inspiration, and then give you guys a chance to talk a little bit about the game.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So, my first question for you guys was, what inspired you to become a board game designer?
You go first.
I'll hand you the mic. There you go.
Honestly, just playing board games inspired me to become a board game designer. I always take things too far. It's never enough to just have a nice, quiet hobby. I've always got to take it to the extreme. Yeah, thank God I've stopped at just designing them and not like opening a publishing company.
Yeah. Opening your own store.
Never do that.
Exactly. It's not enough to just participate. I have to create as well, which I think is true of most things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very similar. Loved playing board games when I was a kid, and then didn't play them for about, 5-10 years, sort of in my 20s, and then got back into it. And obviously by then the board game evolution had moved on, and I was like, wow, what is going on here? And then I started to play those types of games and thought, what if I just change this? What if I just do that? And then we start house ruling, and then when you get like your first idea that you go, oh, hang on, that could be a board game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then you start going, well, maybe it is, and then you just start from scratch. You start doing the prototype.
Yeah.
So for me, and nowadays, pretty much anything can be inspiration. Like we were going up there. What's that big tower in Toronto?
CN Tower.
That one. We were up there. We're going up a lift.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, is there a game about that?
Is there a game about elevators?
Yeah. So and then you start going, maybe
There will be.
And there will be. Yeah.
I love it.
2026 Gen Con.
We'll have the elevator
And
game.
it's
I
got
love it.
ups and downs.
I love it. So it's a typical question, but I'm gonna ask it because I do want to know. Favorite game and why? We'll start with you first, Kedric.
That's not fair.
I'm gonna think.
Favorite
On the
games in
spot.
what situation? In
Oh,
what
here we go.
context?
Okay,
in
okay.
which
So
situation?
how about this?
What genre?
How about this? Favorite game to play at Gen Con? If you're in a large group and you don't know who you're going to be meeting, a bunch of random strangers, what would be a perfect icebreaker game?
I have to say Guildlands, obviously. But Guildlands is a 6-player game, and it's quite deep and involved. So, in the context you've mentioned there, something like 2 Rooms and a Boom.
Okay,
Ever played
awesome.
something like that?
Yeah, I have.
Or potentially as a little-known kind of indie game, Psychobabble. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes, I have.
It's some of those large player
Yeah,
count things
yes.
that get you out of your shell, I would
Right.
say.
And
I'm not snobbish about party games. Why
I
not,
love
right?
it. I love it. And then Ken, just to mix it up,
Uh-huh.
favorite couples game? 2-player
Oh.
game. You're with someone lovely, candlelit dinner, and then you say those magical words. Let's play a game.
Okay, let's go. Are we doing that now?
Yes.
I really like playing Splendor, the 2-player game.
Excellent.
You played that?
Splendor Jewel.
Splendor Jewel, that's
Yeah,
fine.
do you know I knew you were going to say that?
Did you?
I knew that was going to be the answer.
It's
Yeah.
just like it.
Yeah.
No, it's really good. So, and again, that's very clever because it wasn't originally a 2-player game.
Okay.
Yeah. So then they come up with a 2-player game, and you kind of think, oh yeah, they're just trying to cash in, but they've really thought about it, and it really is, and it's sort of similar but different enough to get that different experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys are working on a game. Maybe it's Guildlands, maybe it's something else. I know
Ups and
one
downs.
of my favorite games, honestly, The Crooked Crown.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
also had a
Yeah,
hand
we
in
did do
designing.
that.
Yeah.
So you're making a game. At what point do you say to yourselves, "We're having fun," or "There's not enough fun"? How do you know you put fun in a game?
For me, it's when you play test it.
Okay.
Because in theory, you could go, oh, this is going to be fun. And then you play test it and go, oh, that mechanism we had there, that sort of cancelled that mechanism out, or that blocked that. And so for me, it's that player experience.
That feedback.
The feedback you get.
Right.
So that's how I gauge it. And then we then go, oh, okay, that wasn't fun, and for other reasons as well. You might ditch a mechanic and then try and or fix it or bring a new one in, play test it again. Hopefully, then it's fun. But then there are different types of fun, isn't there?
There's an interesting article, and I'm totally derailing you with an interesting article saying, do games have to be fun?
Yeah.
A game that is challenging and maybe isn't fun is still someone's type of fun.
Because you could be thinky, but that's if it's a sort of puzzle type game.
Yeah.
And you're not sort of all sitting there laughing your heads off, but yet you're enjoying the satisfaction of it, and that can still be fun. So,
yeah. Okay. Any thoughts on that? Anything to add to that? I thought that was a great answer.
Thank you.
I am,
good night.
I'm very good at writing games which are not fun. So I will sit down.
Not, but Guildlands isn't one of those.
I will sit down and I'll write a game which is perfectly mathematically balanced, and all the mechanics make the experience flow from one to the other. And I'll get so far with it, and I will put it on the table and we'll play it, and I'll go, it's not fun.
That's dry.
It's not fun, and it's gone. It's in the drawer. So capturing that. There's no formula for fun, basically, and you can think you've got it, and then you sit down and test play it. And I've got so many games that got taken to that first test play, and I've gone, no,
it's not going to happen.
The spark isn't there. Put it away.
But then you can come back to it exactly, because then, you know, whenever you might just go, oh, that's the missing link, and then you try it, and it unlocks that sort of funness.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then, talking about Guildlands. What was the spark like? You know, when you guys were designing and working on this, was it inspiration from another source? Like, I'd love to get some insights on what started the process of this game.
I think
so. You had a real basic concept, didn't you? Asymmetric tile laying. So you started to form the guilds, or the symbols, basically, didn't you, and how they started to score. That's when you showed it to me. Then we sort of went, okay, is there anything else we need to it? And I think then we added the workers. Then we added tokens, and we just
quite iterative, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite layer by layer, basically.
Interesting.
It's built up. But I think the initial hook was we always try and take a concept that already exists that people are familiar with, and then just break one rule about it. So the tile laying game exists, city tile laying games exist, and they're good.
Right.
Like them. But the rule broken here is actually it's asymmetric, so we are trying to achieve completely different things with our tiles. And that's the new bit. But I think you need to do something new these days.
Yeah, but also not only different scoring for different guilds, but you're also using the same tiles.
Yes.
So the nice thing about that is that you can sabotage intentionally, because you go, I know so and so needs that tile. So even though I could take one of mine to score me points, I'm going to take that because you might get too many points from that, so I'll put it here. But however, there's also unintentional sabotage, because symbols share the same tiles. So I might go, I need that tile. Oh, but you need it as well. But oh well, it's over here, which will score for me, but not for you.
Yeah.
So it's got that. I like player interaction as well.
It was my first time playing it. I'm not that much of a saboteur of a game player, but that was that experience of where I was just focusing on how I wanted to build the city for my guild. Little did I know that I was messing things up for another guild. Everyone at the table thought I was really smart, but I was just focused on what I wanted to do. So
it makes you look clever when you're not.
That's it. And I will say, you know, what got me really excited about it were the different guilds play differently from each other. And if you can expand on that a bit, like what inspired, why go with a merchant guild? Why go with druids? Just a little bit about each of the guilds, if you could.
Well, we kind of themed it the medieval loose fantasy. So then you start going, okay, what guilds sort of realistically were about? So then you go, well, merchants is an obvious one. But we also wanted a little bit of element of fantasy. So you go, oh, druids and wizards. So it's that kind of thing. But
I think the druids are the ones that went through the most changes as well. I think there were different things at different points, weren't they? Because we kind of toyed with, is having wizards and druids in the same game too close? Or is it? So they did move for a couple of iterations.
But we kind of settled because it was like, traditionally, wizards kind of can be seen as more evil. Whereas druids are more kind of...
I see wizards as more like book learning, whereas druids are more naturalistic. That's how I
Yeah,
look at it.
true.
Okay.
But yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Pagan,
Academics
more
versus-
pagan.
yeah.
More kind of pure, if you like.
Yeah.
So we were thinking, well, it's sort of still magic, but kind of the the light and the dark, basically.
Right.
I think if we're being honest, and we should be honest, the guilds actually followed the mechanics a little.
Well, that's
in
what I was
this
going to
case,
say.
Yeah, we had a mechanic that did this, and we went, well, what does that look like?
Yeah.
What does trying to create this large blob look like? It looks like a sprawling marketplace.
Yeah.
Okay, could we make that work?
Oh,
How do we
so
drag
in
the
some
theme
cases
more
a
into-
mechanic inspired a guild, in
Yeah.
some cases a
Yeah.
guild needed a mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I can only imagine the number of variations you guys must have gone through figuring all this out, right?
But
Yeah.
that's for us. That's the fun part.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, because you're going, oh, that's a good idea. Does it work? I know it doesn't work, but can we tweak it, or do you throw it out, bring
Right.
something else in?
And a lot of the variations they're not dead. They're filed away.
Yes.
They're filed away for potential future use because we're really quite good with our version control,
Yeah.
and so you can trace the lineage of this game back through sort of like 24 different
Yeah.
iterations.
Yeah.
And at each iteration,
Yeah.
those ideas that didn't work are still there. But they could be resurrected.
And I've got the original sort of prototype artwork that I did for it originally,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, should I bring that with me?
See, look how far we've come.
Yeah, and I haven't, but I might put that up on social media
Oh.
just to see how.
Yeah,
far
or
it's
something
changed.
you could share on our website, or
Yeah,
something that
yeah,
on our
yeah.
Facebook page
Yeah.
that our viewers could see. That
Yeah.
would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So, going into that, and this is something I've kind of looked through in the manual and stuff like that, and the version I played was an early prototype,
Yeah.
and I was really happy to see the story, the theming. And so, when you guys are doing a story for a game, how do you approach that? Is that something a completely different process from game design?
As a rule, I just approach Ken and ask him to
Yeah.
you know.
Well, my history is writing, so I've written a couple of novels, and I act in murder mysteries. So I've kind of and I do plays, written plays. So I love creating worlds.
Okay.
So for me, I think that comes slightly more natural. However, we're very good at bouncing ideas off and being good sounding boards.
Mm-hmm.
So I might go, oh, I've got this idea, the history of it, and you might go, well, let's tweak that a bit, and I go, okay, and I go away, and so again, it's a game of mechanics. You might go, oh, I've got this mechanic, and I go, well,
Yeah.
well, so we're very good at, and we don't take it personally.
Okay.
Yeah, well, unless you're holding a grudge for all these years.
No.
Now's the time to tell
Yeah,
everyone.
exactly.
Yeah.
Let's
Get
put
off
that
your
out. It will go viral. No, but that's because we just approach it going, how can we make this game the best game it can be?
Mhm.
So if and we've had some quite but and then eventually you go, oh yeah, that, because when you play test it, you then go, oh, that doesn't work.
Right.
So for me, theming, it's not as important as mechanics because ultimately it's a game.
Yeah.
But it really helps set the scene. It really helps you as a player get immersed into it. Because otherwise, you could go, well, then what's the point? What am I doing here?
And do you know what? There's different levels to the theme
Yeah.
as well, in the sense that the generic theme that was definitely set in place is this is city building.
Yes.
At no point did we say, oh, do you know what? We're making
Yeah.
a circuit board.
Yes.
Or whatever we
Yeah.
could.
It was
do.
always
It
city
was
building.
always city building.
Yeah.
And then the next layer, once you've got the mechanics of the city building sorted, is right. Who's building the city? Why are they building
Yeah.
the city?
We-
And that's so you've got that underlying theme which was kind of set.
Yeah.
And then the icing on the cake is
Well,
all
yeah.
really.
Well, we could have gone down the more realistic and picked
For sure.
an actual city like Florence or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I always like to create my own. So
Mhm.
this is why we kind of went down. So the backstory is, and it's funny because there aren't any dragons in it, but the backstory is
Yes.
that because again, thematically you go, well, why are we building a city?
Yeah.
What happened to the city beforehand? Oh, okay, well, it's sort of loose fantasy, dragons. So the dragons came along, they burnt the city to the ground. The queen, wants to rebuild.
Yep.
She comes to the guilds, and then of course the guilds go, yeah, we'll build it for you. However, obviously they're greedy; they want to be the dominant guild. So and that sets the scene. So in a way, it gives the players a motive
Yes.
because you kind of know you're all working together, but then you kind of go, well, and then again that explains why you're trying to screw each other over as well.
And sets up a sequel of Guildlands where the dragons come in and destroy the city.
Return of the Dragon.
Return
Yeah.
of the Dragon.
Well, we did. We create the base game, and then we went, What about expansion? Oh, and just naturally went, oh, mini expansions. And then we did think, yeah, let's have dragons maybe as a mini expansion where you could destroy tiles.
Yeah.
You know, you could, I don't know. What else.
There's a lot.
There's a lot
of options.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Should we? No, let's not mention that.
Well, it'll be a long interview.
Yeah.
Well, we went through every possible idea and
Yeah.
iteration that we're working on.
I know you guys are super busy and you're heading off to Gen
Always got
Con,
time for you.
but I want to ask one last question. And this is the worst question I could ask, so I've saved it for last.
Brilliant.
You guys
Are we gonna walk out
You guys
before
are
we-
dads. You guys are dads,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the games you've made are kind of like your children. So I'm gonna ask you. You already know what's coming, Ken. I'm gonna ask you the worst
I
question
do.
of all the games that you've made. Which one is your favorite?
Well, you've made more games than me, so do you need more thinking time?
Yeah, I need a little.
Okay, so for me, you mean published games?
Published.
Yeah, so I've only had 2 published games.
Okay.
So, no, but they're different games.
I know. Well, this is the
Yeah,
thing. When you
I
get into anything enough,
Yeah.
you know, you can't say what's your favorite movie because you go, well, in what context? Is this to watch with my
Absolutely.
friends?
Yeah.
Is
Absolutely.
it
Blade,
what
although
genre?
Blade Runner.
Let
I
me
can
let
say
me
Blade
narrow
Runner.
it.
Lord
let
of
me,
the Rings.
Let
Oh,
me
no,
narrow it.
you're
Make
right.
it a little bit more fun.
Okay.
When you guys have been at a show
Yeah.
and you've shown off one of your games, what game has had the best reaction at a show? Something really memorable where you brought the game, played it, and went, "Oh, I did a good job."
So I demoed the Cookie Crown for the last 2 conventions, UK Games.
Yes.
And what's really, I mean, this sounds really corny, but what is really beautiful is that you know you spend hours developing these, designing these, and you know we play test it and all of that. But then when you have actual gamers play it, they don't know you, and with the Cookie Crown, every single time, and you know this.
Yes.
Everybody has a great time.
Absolutely.
And at the end, they say, "Oh, but you and who had it here and you did that."
Yes.
So I would say, from that point of view, it's the Cookie Crown.
Yes.
So not everybody then bought a copy. A lot did, but they all. I didn't have anyone going, "Oh, well, that was all right. Thanks for your time."
They all had that
a good
strong
time.
reaction afterwards.
Now Guildlands, we only demoed it a couple of times at UK Games.
Yeah.
But
Because it hasn't been launched yet.
no, it hasn't been launched. But
Sure.
I had some friends that wanted to play it, so I went, okay.
I played it with a few journalists and things.
And you, did you? Yeah, I already did. Yeah. And again, the reaction was good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a different type because they're thinky.
Right.
So there isn't that big sort of
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a strategic game. It's
Yeah.
not a social
Yeah.
game.
Right.
So but
Right.
so I'm going to say Guildlands
Good. Excellent.
or Talisman. I know we
Sorry.
can't say Talisman.
Please don't.
So
It's the
I'm going to put the pressure back on you. I mean,
Yeah.
If it's for demoing at shows,
Yeah.
you're probably right. It's probably Crooked Crown.
Cookie Crown.
Yeah.
And without getting into the theory too much and looking at things too deeply, that's maybe not for this interview, but when I design games, I sometimes like to think of them not as a product,
No.
which I know clearly companies, it
Yeah.
has to be a marketable product.
Yep.
And not even as a game, I look at it as a structured social interaction.
Yeah.
So say, right, I've got these people, how am I going to have them interact with each other
Well,
in a way that is satisfying,
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
surprising, whatever it is you're going for. And I think as a structured social interaction, actually the Crooked Crown.
It's pretty much
good.
spot on, isn't
It
it?
is good. It is
Well, guys, I want to thank you both for coming down
Yeah.
here. It's been fantastic to have you here. I'm so excited to come with you guys to Gen Con, showing off the game, seeing the reaction of people as they play it. Guildlands coming soon. We know you're going to love it.
Because games matter.
My goodness, you're still here.
Thanks for watching our video today. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe. That red button thingy that's down there. Also, you may want to click on some of the boxes around my head to watch more Outset videos.